Morning. My name's John Powell. I've been asked to give a brief presentation on Work in Progress, one of my teams in Enterprise and Innovation Services Department. Sorry I can't be there today or for many more days, but I'll take this opportunity to give you some background context on where Work in Progress has come from, where it's currently at, and our thoughts for the future. Most of you probably won't know, but I became interested in student enterprise through a personal need. I was an undergrad student here at Lancaster and I started a business and wanted some help, but it just didn't exist. So I started the Entrepreneurship Society, one of the first in the country. Eventually I made my way into a role in RES and started the enterprise team, now Work in Progress. And over time established Enterprise and Innovation Services as a department. I went on to become president of the national membership body Enterprise Educated UK, was a keynote and spoke at conferences in the UK, the USA, China and Japan. The Work in Progress team grew through EIDF funding to 12 roles, but was reduced significantly back down again to about 2 FTE in recent years. When Simon Harrison, who headed up the team, left last year, I got hands-on with the team's work again. That's given me a fresh perspective on how Work in Progress can add value to RES and the wider student experience. In terms of a snapshot and scale and impact of the team, we've supported over 2,100 students. We've delivered over 15,000 hours of support. And we've supported 163 new businesses, charities or social enterprises to be formed and created. The current model for Work in Progress is to support our students and graduates, mainly outside the curriculum, through 3 main pathways. People in progress, individuals that want to develop their confidence and their entrepreneurial capabilities. Ideas in progress, individuals working on a challenge in society, and they think they've got some sort of solution and idea. Or business in progress, individuals or teams that are in the process of a recently started a business, charity or social enterprise. So what have we learned over the past 10 or 15 years? Startups are just one outcome of our work. They're what's most visible, they're what's currently measured. But what we've been exploring is what sits behind those outcomes. Because what really drives that is something less visible. How students develop a capability and confidence to create value. Our learning and practice has developed over many years, and we've worked with students from every discipline across campus. This experience has given us a clear understanding of where the real value sits. It becomes about designing experience that nurture curiosity, creative thinking, collaboration and resilience, the kinds of capabilities that enable students to engage with opportunities and create value. And this is consistent with what we see reflected in the QAA guidance, which I helped write in 2018. Where the value of enterprise and entrepreneurial learning experience that spans everything from inclusion and creativity through to attainment, employability and of course, startup activity. And these are the competences we feel students need to develop to embrace ambiguity and create value. But the tension we keep seeing is, learners don't lack ideas or opportunities, they lack the confidence and the capacity to engage with or access them fully. Many students don't feel the relevance of work in progress careers and many other opportunities across campus, or they don't feel able to engage with them, particularly when they're balancing other pressures like part-time work, which means it often gets left to chance rather than being something that all students experience. We started this activity as students needed support. I was a prime example of that. And it's evolved into activity that support RES priorities, supports local funding and of course the student experience. A great recent example of this is the 12 Indonesian students that joined Lancaster in October. They chose Lancaster for their MSc in Innovation Entrepreneurship because of the Work in Progress service offer. It was a requirement that the university they applied to and studied at would have that sort of support for them, and it was a requirement of their visa from their government for funding. But we've also been enabling the impact of this activity through staff. We worked with colleagues like Shelley Morgan in careers to better align enterprise to employability and embed enterprise approaches into her practice. And with Scott Barker and Lucy Green, transforming the Eco Challenge into a design hackathon with human-centred design at the heart of it. We've worked with Pockets to support embedding it into the curriculum in modules in LEC, in FAS, in FHM and LUMS. But this isn't about adding something separate. It's about embedding tools and approaches into existing practice to transform the student experience. We've experimented scaling it through staff, but the real opportunity now is to scale it further through strategy. So the opportunity feels less about adding more and more about how we can design learning more intentionally across the student experience, because it's part of identity development, career development, and the agency and ambiguity to create value for yourselves and others. Because when we do that, more students are able to engage, and they're better prepared to create value and have an impact in the future in their lives. Here is one model for how work in progress could develop for its future, using one of the tools we encourage our learners to embrace, which is really about enabling, embedding and enabling practice in others. So in summary, startups are one outcome, but this is really about how student capabilities developed across the whole student experience at Lancaster. This becomes a systems design challenge, and as Lancaster develops its new strategy for the future, how might we design a student experience that enables every student to develop the confidence and capability to create value in any context and navigate their complex futures?